Hey everyone, you ever look at a business, a real titan in its field, and just wonder, how do they do that? How do they stay on top year after year? Well, today, we're going to peel back the layers and look at the actual blueprint that separates the brands that truly dominate from the ones that are just getting by.
Seriously? It's the big question, right? Why do some companies seem to have this unstoppable momentum? I can tell you, it's not luck, and it's definitely not magic. It's all about a deliberate, carefully built strategy. And by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly how they do it.
All right, so to really get into that big question, we first have to agree on what winning actually means in the business world. And you know what? It all boils down to one fundamental idea: the competitive edge.
Look, at the end of the day, it's all about the numbers. A competitive advantage isn't just about being famous or having a really cool ad. It's about being fundamentally more profitable than everybody else in your space. That's how you keep score. Simple as that. And here's the interesting part. The road to getting that advantage really forks into two main paths. You can either be way more efficient and offer a lower cost, or you can create something so much better that people are willing to pay more for it. So you're either cheaper or you're better. That's pretty much the choice. But, okay, here's where it gets tricky. Getting an advantage for a little while, that's one thing. The real challenge, the thing that separates the good from the truly great, is holding on to that advantage when you know for a fact your competitors are trying to copy your every move. And this right here, this is the mental shift that changes the entire game. A temporary lead? That's just a moment. But a sustainable advantage? That's like building a fortress. It's about creating a lead that's incredibly difficult, maybe even impossible, for anyone else to catch up to.
This quote nails it. You should think of this idea as the North Star for any business. I mean, every single decision you make, from hiring to marketing, should really answer one question. Does this help make our advantage last longer? So how in the world do you build this fortress? How do you make it last? Well, it comes down to a really powerful choice, using two essential tools from the Strategist Toolkit.
This is just brilliant because it lays out the entire game. On one side, you have points of parity. These are the things you have to do. They're the table stakes. You don't get a cookie for having them, but if you don't, you're not even in the game. But then you have points of difference. This is your secret weapon. This is the one-of-a-kind thing that makes a customer pick you every single time. Just think about it for a sec. In a world you know, let's say smartphones, a point of parity, the table stakes, is having a good camera. Everyone expects it. But a point of difference, that could be an incredible battery life, unique software, or a design that's just on another level. One gets you considered, the other gets you chosen. Okay, so let's start putting these pieces together. We're going to see how understanding what you must do versus deciding where you're going to be different comes together to create the actual blueprint for a powerhouse brand. You know, when people hear brand architecture, they think logos, colors, fonts, but that's not it. Not at this stage. This is the invisible foundation. It's the deliberate, strategic choice about where you're going to blend in and, more importantly, where you're going to stand out and be absolutely unforgettable. And the process itself is actually pretty straightforward. First, you get brutally honest about the table stakes. What do customers absolutely expect? Second, you get really creative and define your secret weapon. What's going to be your unique claim to fame? And third, you lock it all into a clear blueprint that guides everything, and I mean everything your business does. So, as we've seen, a real lasting advantage isn't just one lucky break or a clever ad. It's a carefully built system, a system of parity and difference that carves out a profitable, sustainable spot in the market. And that leaves us with one final, and I think most important question for you to think about. What's your advantage? And is it built to last?